Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Interesting development in Soledar. So after all, the Russians are grabbing Soledar, and that's not something that's according to the Russians, but it's something according to a US official. Now, that's very interesting development. The Ukrainians said that the Russians are trying, but they're pushed back in Soledar. Now, this American official says, no, it's not like that. Hold your horses. This is from today, so the 9th of January 2022, from Al Mayadin. That's an Arab independent news outlet. This is, in quotation mark, the title. Good portion of Soledar under Russia control. US official. The United States says Russia a large chunk of the town of Soledar under its control in light of the push for Bakhmut. Alright, so that's it. Alright, so it says here a screen grab from a video captured by a Wagner group combatant inside Soledar. Let's look at a picture here on this article. The United States assesses that a good portion of the DPR city of Soledar is now controlled by the Russian armed forces, a senior US Defense Department official said on Monday, noting that the warring sides continued to fight in the key strategic town. And I'm quoting, "We do think that there is a good portion of Soledar that the Russians have in their hand." So, we do think that there is a good portion of Soledar that the Russians have in their hands, and the Ukrainians do as well. And these artillery exchanges are savage, the official told a press briefing. Well, let's see. According to the official, Bakhmut, which is located 7 kilometers, that's what, about 4 miles, away from Soledar, has also become a field of severe and savage fighting, with the two sides shelling it with thousands of artillery rounds. The defense staff of the Donetsk People's Republic, DPR, said earlier in the day that Russian forces had taken over the village of Bakhmutskoye near Soledar and northeast of Bakhmut. I made a video on that earlier this morning. Both key towns are located in the Kiev-controlled part of the DPR, which became part of the Russian Federation in September following popular referenda in the region alongside other neighboring regions. Russian President Vladimir Putin declared that the peoples living in DPR and Lugansk People's Republic, Kherson and Zaporozhye have become Russian citizens forever. And I'm quoting, "I want people in Kiev and their real owners to listen to me. We call on Kiev to enter an immediate ceasefire to end the war they initiated back in 2014. End quote. Bakhmut has been an important transport hub for the supplying the Ukrainian army's troops in the Donbass in light of Ukraine war. It is noteworthy that a few days ago a US official confirmed during a press briefing on Wednesday that the Russian army has made, and I'm quoting, gradual progress in the city of Bakhmut, end quote, located on the western outskirts of the Donetsk region. He added, and I'm quoting, "There is still fierce fighting as the Ukrainians continue to fight, and the Russians in turn continue to make gradual progress there," end quote, suggesting that, and I'm quoting again, "fighting will continue along the line in Donetsk in the foreseeable future," end quote. The situation in Bakhmut. Russian forces proceeded to advance towards the densely populated areas of the city after they succeeded more than a month ago in tightening their siege on the Ukrainian forces present there, and they continued to bombard their position with missiles and artillery. Western media have been speaking about the Battle of Bakhmut for over a month now, in which Kiev's allies fear that Russian control over it will be a key to the collapse of the entire front in the hands of the Russian forces during the harsh winter, while Russian sources confirm that the Ukrainian forces and mercenaries suffer heavy losses in lives and equipment. Very interesting, because if you listen to what the Ukrainians say about Bakhmut, nothing important there, nothing. We don't understand why the Russians want to fight there. The Russians say, no, once we get that one, you're done. So I don't know which one is it, probably somewhere in the middle, but since the Ukrainians are fighting so fiercely to protect this nothing burger location, it tells me that it's more than they say. Now the Ukrainians claim that it's the Wagner group and the Russians attacking Bakhmut, Soledar, and the other guy said no, actually is the mercenaries and the Ukrainians defending those. Anyway, bunch of liars, but hey, what can you do? We're gonna wait for the truth about a week, and we find out what happened a week ago. All right, so let's see. The Ukrainian forces suffer greatly from the difficulty of transferring personnel to the city due to the harsh weather conditions on the one hand, and also because they were forced to withdraw reinforcements from the Zaporozhye and Svatove fronts to reinforce the combat group in Bakhmut. They're running low. They have as much as they have in troops, and that's it. They got the volunteers. They are pouring in or pouring out, but no more. They have to wait about 18 years so the new generation gets the war age, or military age. With this last option, Ukraine's forces would weaken their position in other cities and be forced to sacrifice their capabilities in those directions and throw all their reserve forces in an attempt to block the Russian advance. Now, why do you think the Russians and the Belarusians are, moving around at the border with Ukraine in the north? For the same reason. So the Ukrainians cannot dare to take their forces stationed there, protecting a possible, I would say, never coming invasion from Belarus. So they move it where really is needed. Yeah, the Americans and now the Brits and all these guys send tanks finally to Ukraine, and will send aircraft in the future if the war doesn't end by then. But I think it's a little bit too late. But hey, they do it, so they cannot be blamed by I don't know exactly who, But anyway, so the news here is that the Russians are advancing towards the densely populated areas of the city in Bakhmut, and according to this American defense official, assesses that a good portion of the city of Soledar is now controlled by the Russian armed forces. A senior U.S. Defense Department official said that today on Monday. So the Ukrainians can say whatever they want. At the end, you can look on the map and see where the next fight will take place. And if the next fight takes place in the west of Soledar and Bakhmut, then you realize that the Russians already got that and they move westward. And vice versa. If the war occurs in the east of Bakhmut or Soledar, you just take your little phone or map or whatever you got, look over and see. So you can verify these weasels. They all lie, don't get me wrong. It's just the proportion and the timing, but the lie, yeah. All right. Anyway, so it was expected, and we'll see. We'll see. This is the update. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.